Jai Gurudev and Hari Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Chaiva Tato Jayamudirayet. Jai Gurudev. Today, I will have to leave in about 10 minutes. If any of you can share the screen, you could continue the Manana. So, shall we share our inputs for this?
Dr. Sadhana, I have written a question on
Yes,
your
I know.
personal.
I've
Okay.
seen that question. We'll ask him tomorrow.
Yes.
We'll do
Only
that.
if it is not silly.
Yeah. No problem. We'll ask him that tomorrow. So let me just share the screen. So again, it was this beautiful verse, Yajna Dana Tapah Karma Na Tyajyam Karyameva Tat Yajno Dana Tapaschaiva Pavanani Manishina. So these are not to be given up. And Yajna Dana Tapah are those, for those who are capable of discriminative thinking, are purifying indeed. And we got the deeper meaning of Yajna Dana Tapah Karma. I remember my father would listen to this this Yallam Raju, and he was a very loud person. When he would speak very loudly. And my father was like a very ardent student, that he would listen to all his lectures. I mean, at that time, I think I was not enough ready for all of this. But yeah, I remember those days when. Okay, so we'll look at this. 1 second. Etanyapi tu karmani sangam tyaktva halani cha kartavyaniti me patha nishchitam matamuttamam. This kartavyaniti is need that is to be that is to be done. So partha, O son of Pritha, tu but etani karmani api, but even these actions, sangam, attachment, phalanicha, and the results, tyaktva, giving up, kartavyaniti, kartavyani are to be done, iti me, this is my nishchitam, clear, uttamam, proper, matam, vision. But even these actions are to be done, giving up attachment and giving up the results. This is my clear, proper vision, Arjuna. So here we should not have any doubts. So the verse 6 only gives us that clarity. All these are according to the Shastra. The Shastra Vihita Karma. There should not be any more doubt in us because this is coming from Bhagavan himself. This is where that element of faith comes in. You just follow because it is coming from there. It is an ordained truth. So whenever in case there is a doubt or someone else raises, why are you doing yajna, dana, tapa, what is the need for you to do yajna? Then we must come back to this verse 6. Because kartavyaniti me partha nischitam matamuttama. But how do we do this? Sangam tyaktva. That is when you give up the attachment to the results of the action. You're not doing it for kamya karma. It's not a kamya karma. It is not for an end. It is not like, oh, I want to get good results, or I want to get a job, or I want to get a promotion. I want to get my child married. So all these come under the kamya karma. So you do it like you're falling in line because this is what is ordained by the Shastra. See, because unless everyone does this, the order of the universe will be tilted, isn't it? If we do not do yajna, dana, tapa, then creation would not continue the way it is. I mean, that's my little take there. But anyone wants to share? Before that, in 5 minutes, I will have to leave. Suma or Bela, any of you, are you able to share screen?
Hariom Brahmaraji, my internet is very, even I frequently I leave and come back.
Okay. And Suma,
which chapter are we doing for Manana today?
We're doing chapter 3.
If you can send it to my email, and then I'll show it because I'm on the phone. I don't know where it is in my computer. Probably I have downloaded, but if you send it to my computer, I can share. Send it to my email, sorry.
Hariom Brahmaraji, sorry to, for tomorrow also, I will be chanting the things, but I doubt my internet, and Sunita ji had written, so in case my if I frequently volume my goes down, then Sunita ji can take over.
Yeah.
She has told just now that she will chant if my internet has problem.
That is fine. No
Okay.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just stop the share 1 minute. Let me just share this one with because let the Manana continue. Let's not give it a break. 1 second. So if anyone wants to share anything about these 2 shlokas, please go ahead.
Yeah, Bhagwan has, I think in previous chapters also, he has mentioned the same thing, right? This shloka, Sangam Tyaktva Dhananjay, we have, I mean, while doing Yagya Dana, this all, you have to leave the desire for whatever reason you are doing. It should be only for your Atma Kalyan, and that desire also should be automatic.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to extend the meaning of Bhagwan's yagna dharma and all this yagna karma, doing your swakarma, your performing your duties as whatever role you are playing. That also you have to do without any desire.
Yeah, it is to be done because it is ordained by the Shastras.
And Shastras are nothing but Bhagwan's instructions.
Bhagwan's instructions. So if we are doing our Nitya Puja, whatever we're doing, like what Nana said initially, he said you decide what you want to do as your Nitya Karma. Not decide, but you keep based on the time that you have, what you can do, and that you continue to do.
Which sloka of chapter 3?
Where I think I'll tell you 1 second. I'm just sending it to you.
No, I got it. I found mine.
You found yours? Oh, very good. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
Chapter 3, no?
Chapter 3,
Chapter
we were
yeah.
in the nature of knowledge, I think. I'll tell you. We did the grahastha. We got to start with types of sannyasa. We stopped at that. I think it's still the second or the third verse only. If you scroll down from the beginning, where somewhere in the beginning itself, you will have to start from types of sannyasa, because yesterday we looked at the 4 ashramas and how sannyasa can be taken up in any of the ashramas, provided one is ready, one is eligible. So sannyasa ashrama is a stage in life where one is absolved from performing all karma. So this yajna dana tapah karma is all he's absolved from doing. So this shloka that Bhagwan is given in chapter 18 is keeping Arjuna in mind, is keeping all the karma yogis in mind, all of us basically. One is freed from all duties in order to pursue knowledge. This pursuit is all that is to be done. Therefore, the person must already be a jnani or want nothing but knowledge. So,
Sannyasi, he had already said, no, you keep them aside as such.
Correct. He said, they are not to be compared to this. So, yeah. So, can anyone read this? Sumaji, are you able to share?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just connecting with my computer now.
I will log in from my phone, but I will be there maybe for another 15 minutes. But you continue till whenever you can.
Can you see my screen now?
Can see.
Yes, Sumaji, we can.
Okay, so this is chapter 3.
Yeah, go down, scroll down till you reach types of sannyasa. And from there you can read.
Types of sannyasa.
Yeah. You can enlarge your screen and then.
Yeah, yeah. Can you all see now? Is it clear?
Yes, Sumaji, very clear.
So we have any more sharing on chapter 18? On yajna, dhana and tapas. And Krishna says you should not leave it. That much I got. Anybody else wants to add anything? Okay. So we are going to chapter 3, Karma Yoga. We come to types of sannyasa. There are two main types of sannyasa. For a person who is already a jnani, there is vidvat sannyasa, a sannyasa taken because of knowledge. The person has knowledge and therefore there is nothing more for him or her to do in the world. No obligations whatsoever. If the knowledge has been gained in any of the other 3 ashramas, Brahmacharya ashrama, Grahastha ashrama or Vanaprastha ashrama, the person can take to sannyasa ashrama directly. If the knowledge has been gained in any of the other 3 ashramas, then he can go to sannyasa ashrama directly, taking vidvat sannyasa so that he or she is no longer obligated. Otherwise, for the person with knowledge, there will still be obligations because each of the first 3 ashramas implies certain duties on one's part, which cannot be left undone as long as one is in that ashrama. Thus, the person takes sannyasa to be free of these obligations, to make it perfect, in other words. Any thoughts on this paragraph? I had 2 learning. One is that sannyasa is for both men and women. For some reason, our society had shunned women, no? Or did not think women could take up sannyasa. At least that's what I thought. Anyone had such a understanding?
No, I think right from the beginning, because you know about Gargi and all these sages.
Yeah, but then they were all already with the Rishi group or Rishi Sangha, like people like you and me, or at least me, I'm not in any of those privileged Sangha. I'm a Grahastha, but even now, and the second thing it says, no, if you can leave this directly and go to sannyasa, provided you have the knowledge. So these 2 things are a kind of a revelation for me. Till now, I thought once you're stuck in some ashrama, you have to complete that obligations. You cannot leave it. That's what I thought. I still think so, but if you have completed your obligations, then you can leave. That's what I understand from this. Maybe I'm wrong.
Dr. Suna, you can never leave the obligations. Life continues with lot of new obligations keep coming in life. So sannyasa is perhaps no attachment, but keep doing whatever you are required to. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
So if you go to very right, Dr. Renu, very correct observation. I'm just trying to correlate it with the chapter 18 where Bhagwan says Yagya is what you said, doing things without the attachment. So you would, whichever ashrama you are in, do whatever is your obligations and do it without attachment. Then also you are practicing sannyasa. Is that how it is?
Yes, that's what I thought.
Yeah, Hari Om, that's what is my thought as well. That leaving the attachment not only to the results, but even like desire, like for my son, my daughter, my husband, myself, when you leave those attachment and you continue doing your swadharma as per Bhagwan's instruction, I think it becomes sannyasa in grihastha as well.
And it is a very...
But can we just go back to the definition of this Vidvat Sannyasa that Swamiji is giving? There are two types of sannyasas, he says, no? Vidvat Sannyasa and Vividisha Sannyasa. See, what we're talking about, giving up all attachment and all that, is part of Karma Yoga. You know, without attachment, you're doing all this. You're continuing to do your karma without attachment is a Karma Yogi. Whereas this Vidvat Sannyasa that Swamiji is talking about here is to the exclusion of knowledge. Nothing else he is required to do, he is obliged to do. So, as a Grihastha, I'm not sure whether you can still be considered a Vidvat Sannyasa there. Then you would leave the Grihastha Ashrama and take Sannyasa Ashrama. The previous paragraph, if you've seen, every one of us can be categorized into any one of those four ashramas, which is Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha or Sannyasa. Isn't it? So I think there is a clear distinction between Grihastha who's following Karma Yoga versus a Sannyasa, Sannyasi. I don't know whether my internet is working.
Are all able to hear? I mean, are you all able to hear what Dr. Brahmara is saying?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so my internet has problem. Yeah, Brahmaraji, the ashramas, what you are saying is correct. And so what Vidvat Sannyasa, what Swamiji is talking here, but that is according to chronological age, isn't it? Like what 4 ashramas are given as per chronological age. But if mentally you are free right from the beginning, if you feel that you are free from these...
I don't think it is chronological age. I don't think, because he has clearly mentioned at any point you can, at any ashrama you can take to sannyasa.
Yeah,
so you could have a bala sannyasa, like how Shankaracharya was. No, at the age of 8 he became a sannyasi, or even
when
before.
one discovers, this sentence is very powerful. When one discovers the readiness, the dispassion in oneself, on that very day, one can take sannyasa. This is a
Correct.
Vedic sanction for it.
So I think we should understand this sannyasa versus karma yoga. That distinction has to be maybe clear for us to take this forward. No?
The sannyasa ashrama is a stage in life when one is absolved from performing all karma. So it is taken at any stage, provided you have this dispassion and you are in that, living that knowledge totally. One is free
Emotional
from
maturity.
all duties in order to pursue knowledge. This pursuit is all that is to be done. Therefore, the person must already be a jnani, or want nothing but knowledge.
And Nanaji was mentioning that emotional maturity, is a prerequisite.
And it is also not very easy, because it says that it's very tough to take to sannyasa if you're not mature, if you're not into this jnani state of mind. And even a grihastha should take permission from his wife to move on to the vanaprastha ashrama. None of which would be easy. So true. take permission from his wife and vice versa also. For which, that's why that mental wavelength should be the same with the husband and wife. Then, yeah, you can go from grahastha to vanaprastha like that. But if the interests are different, then it is very tough. It's not at all easy. And if you don't have the mental maturity of a jnani, then definitely sannyasa is a mistake, I would.
Here, I think, Suma, I would like to share, even if, see, it does not really depend on your aligning with your spouse. There are so many examples in history, like for instance, Mirabai. She was not in her husband was not in alignment with her thoughts about Krishna, isn't it? He in fact denounced Krishna and tried everything to keep her away from him. But she continued her devotion. So I think this is an individual journey. It is
That's
fine
what
if
he
everybody
said.
else comes along. It is wonderful if everybody else is in sync, but it does not really depend on that. It is your own singular journey.
That's what here also this Swamiji has said. It is not easy. None of which would be easy. Even if you're aligned, it is not easy. Even if you're not aligned, it is definitely difficult. And when Mirabai continued with her devotion, her life was also had lot of challenges. Even when she continued on her own.
Look at Mirabai, Prahlada. Look at Prahlada. He was singularly devoted, but look at the amount of hardships he had to face. No, so it should only make our resolve deeper and stronger. That is the mumukshutvam. That if you have strong enough, then nothing will deter you on the path.
That's where you have to become that jnani, where you're seeking nothing but knowledge. That dridham should be there in your mind, and that courage should be there. Gurudev always says, no, only the courage will walk this path. You have to be very courageous. Dishankara left his mother at the age of 7 or 8. Very courageous thing. Very scary thing to even to think, to let go of your son at 7 or 8. So very, very, only the brave will walk this path. Can walk this path, I suppose. But devotion is a very strong thing because Guru will take us through. So that is faith and devotion. That's another strong thing to hold on to. That's what I think.
So sannyasa happens, just can't, there's no preparation like.
Yeah, when it comes from within, the strength automatically comes, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
When you want to do a certain thing, yeah, the strength comes.
The other main type of sannyasa is called Vivida sannyasa. Vividisha sannyasa, and is meant for knowing. This sannyasa is for those who desire to know the self, Atma, as Brahman. The person who knows exactly what is to be done. He or she has heard that this Atma is Brahman and wants to know it. Such a person is not interested in anything else and has a certain viveka, discrimination, with reference to the real and the unreal. He or she also has vairagya, dispassion, mumukshatvam, the desire for liberation, and other qualifications in various degrees. I think we all fit in here. And with these qualifications, the person takes to the life of sannyasa called Vividisha sannyasa. This is not very clear to me what is Vividisa Sannyasa. Yeah, I do understand. We are at various degrees with all this. Viveka, Vairagya, Mumukshatra at various degrees. Okay. And with these qualifications, he takes, maybe I need to go back and read what Vividisa Sannyasa is. Anyone has any knowledge on this, Vividisa Sannyasa? The first sannyasa is knowledge, vidvat sannyasa. Because of knowledge you're taking. The second sannyasa is we have various desire. We are at various degrees for knowing. So we will take this vividisa sannyasa. Okay, I will leave it there. The third type of sannyasa called apat sannyasa. Apat sannyasa, when a person thinks he or she is going to die and does not want to die a grahastha or a vanaprastha, but rather as a sannyasi. He takes apat sannyasa. Apat means danger, because the sannyasa ashrama is always praised in the Shastra. It is natural for a person to want the results of this ashrama. It is as though the person has a blank check all along and now wants to encash it. For one who has already lived a grahastha life and has been told that death is near, there seems to be no use in continuing the grahastha-ashrama. A man is not about to die, but will usually want to remain in grahastha. So a man who's not about to die will usually want to remain a grahastha because he is fond of his wife and children. But if he knows he is going to die fairly soon, he may go for apat sannyasa. At such a time, one does not require a guru, but can simply declare oneself to be a sannyasi. With the sun, the elements, and all the gods as witness, one can make vows. So with the sun, the elements, and all the gods as witness, one can make vows, for which there is a particular mantra. And if one happens to survive the vows taken, can always be ratified later. This is how Shankara became a sannyasi. That is that story, no? He was to die at 8. So at 7, he becomes a sannyasi because he knew he was going to die. So he took this apat sannyasi. So how Shankara became a sannyasi? Shankara wanted to become a sadhu at a very young age, but his mother was not at all agreeable. As the story of his life goes, he had the help of a crocodile that had caught hold of his leg while he was bathing in the river. Shankara's mother was waiting for him on the bank, and he called out to tell her that what was happening. Oh, so this is the immediate danger of death. It may have been a ploy, or perhaps the crocodile was symbolic of samsara. We do not know. In any case, when his mother began crying, Shankara told her that if he took the vows of sannyasa, the crocodile would let go of him because there was danger to his life involved. This was apat sannyasa. Shankara took the vows, and lo and behold, the crocodile released him. When he walked out of the river, his mother said, "Come on, let's go home." "What?" Shankara replied, "I am a sannyasi now." When his mother told him the vows were only for the crocodile's sake, he said, "Not at all. I have made the vows and I am going." In this way, Shankara became a sannyasi. Later, he went to the Guru Govind Bhagavad Pada, who lived on the banks of Narmada in the middle of India, and became his disciple. It was Govindapada who ratified Shankara's vows of sannyasa. Ratification is always possible whenever one has taken Apat Sannyasa and survives. Oh, wow. Taken Apat Sannyasa and survives. Expecting some good end from the sannyasa ashrama, people have value for it. This expectation is based on the belief that a sannyasi does not take another birth. And if there is a birth, the hope is that one will at least get a better chance in the next life. This is a belief and one has faith, shraddha in it. A person may be born into a family where he or she can start the life of a sadhu, so that directly from the brahmacharya stage, he or she become a sannyasi and not a grahastha. Thus, those who have become sannyasis this way may have been apat sannyasis in their previous life. The last ritual of a sannyasi. Arjuna's heart was not in apat sannyasa. He was not dying, but he did want to know. Therefore, he wanted to take Vividisa Sannyasa. In Sannyasa, one gives up all karmas, for which there is a special ritual, the last fire ritual that a sannyasi performs. You may see a sannyasi doing puja, but you will never see a sannyasi sitting around a fire performing a Vedic ritual. Such a person has been freed of all obligatory fire rituals, of all karmas in fact. A sannyasi's last fire ritual is one in which all karmas are given up. In this ritual, the sannyasi bids goodbye to all the ancestors to whom there has been an obligation: father, mother, grandfather, grandmother, great-grandfather, and great-grandmother. Then rishis and devas. The person taking sannyasa says that self-knowledge will be pursued to the exclusion of all else, asks for the blessings of the paternal and maternal ancestors, and takes a vow of abhaya, a vow not to harm any living being, including trees and plants. The sannyasi also vows to be a non-competitor in the world and all others, thereby becoming a person who does not compete for the sake of status, politically, economically, or socially. The knowledge is the only interest for the sannyasi. Having taken these vows, the sannyasi takes a few symbolic steps towards the north, the direction that stands for moksha. South stands for death. Thus, Lord Death, Lord Yama, is a southerner. This symbolism may be based on the polar attraction in the north. Death never attracts you, whereas freedom from death does. Moving towards the north in search of moksha, having discarded all clothing, the sannyasi is called back by the guru, given a set of simple clothing, asked to serve and continue studying with the guru. This then is the ritual of sannyasa, be it either Vividha sannyasa, Vidvat sannyasa, or Vividisha sannyasa. Both are mentioned by Shankara in this commentary. In Vidvat sannyasa, one may or may not take sannyasa formally. The main aim is that by knowledge, one gives up all karmas. The knowledge is that I am a non-doer. I perform no action. This is what is called Naishkarmya, the state of actionlessness. I perform no action at any time because Atma, which is I, does not perform any action, nor does Atma cause anyone to perform action. I am not a doer in spite of all the actions I do. This knowledge is real sannyasa as described jnana karma sannyasa. For the sake of this jnana karma sannyasa, one takes to the life of sannyasa, pursuing self-knowledge. The other, nishta karma yoga, is for all those who seekers in the other ashramas. Nishta karma yoga is for all those seekers in the other ashramas. Any thoughts so far?
Yeah, that means if you don't have doership, we all can become sannyasis, right? You don't have that. Things.
But yeah, so we become this.
Naishkarmya sannyasa.
No, Naishkarmya sannyasa is the one who's seeking knowledge. But if we are not seeking knowledge, we cannot just say, I'm not the doer. Isn't it? You're seeking knowledge. That's why you are saying, I am not the doer. So you become this yeah, you're right. You become the Naishkarmya sannyasa. Jnana karma sannyasa. All the others, all other seekers, we fall in the Nishta karma yoga.
I love the sentence where said Guru brings you back. You are going to that side where, that's so powerful statement where Guru takes you back and he gives us and asks to serve and continue studying.
So we can all take Vividisa sannyasa. Nishta karma yoga. We are in this. At least this is what I understand. Jnana karma sannyasa means totally you are only wanting knowledge and living that. It takes some more time, I guess. What next birth?
Without knowledge, you can't have that tension of non-doership. So that we can strive for. Whatever we do, have the non-doership. That is itself is sort of a sannyas.
According, what I got for this Vividisha word, I'm going by the word. Vidisha is this. Disha is east, west, north, south. Vidisha is northeast, northwest. South is southwest. Now Vividisha is in between those. That means it is further comes down to the intensity. I presume that. And for example is Shankaracharyaji's goal to be a sannyasi. Even at the age of 7, he was so firm to be a sannyasi. Yeah, Jai Gurudev. That is what I took it in that way. Okay. Jai Gurudev.
And that shloka, no, where without a guru you are anada. Guru radir anadishcha. This paragraph came to my mind that without a guru you are an orphan. So even if you take to sannyasa, this apat sannyasa that Adi Shankara took, he ultimately came to his guru Govindapada. And Govindapadacharya gave him that I don't know what to call it, gave him that or took him under his care and told him to continue with the study of knowledge and service. Very nice. Now, the purpose of Karma Yoga. There is no doubt that karma binds with its limited results. But if you do karma for antakarna shuddhi, for neutralizing your raga dveshas, for gaining the grace of Ishvara, if you perform your prayers, rituals, and duties for the sake of these alone, the karma you perform becomes a means, yoga for moksha. Yes. So perform everything for your antakarna shuddhi with that in mind. Sannyasa is only possible if you have lived a life of a karma yoga. Otherwise, you become a sannyasi who has raga dveshas and you will be miserable. A karma yogi has the means, a world, a field where his or her raga dveshas can be neutralized. So karma yogi has the means, the world, a field where his raga dveshas can be neutralized. Yes. Such a field is not there for a sannyasi. Sannyasa means a life of study from morning to night. No other activities available. A sannyasi cannot even sing much because the pursuit of music, along with everything else, has already been given up. Oh. A sannyasi is one who has to pursue knowledge for which a certain capacity to contemplate is required. If the pressure from raga dvesha is there, you cannot sit in contemplation. You will find instead all kinds of agitation, or you will fall asleep. I'm very familiar with this. After a few days, the lifestyle of a sannyasi, traditionally indicated by wearing of orange robes, will become a source of irritation. Naturally then, sannyasa is meant only for those who, to an extent at least, have taken care of their raga dveshas. So correct.
I just would like to share one small incident. I mean, it was in my Baroda city only. One very young girl, she topped NEET, she topped IIT JEE, and she was a Jain and she took Diksha. And it was such a beautiful, I mean, I just witnessed the celebration, and I mean, she was so happy being a sannyasi. And they had a full celebration where she was decorated with bridal wear and everything. She was hardly in her 16, 17 years of age, but she had just completed her 12th and she had taken the diksha. So just now she suddenly came to my mind that uh, 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 wearing sannyasi robes, I mean it must be very, very courageous, no, to take that decision at such a young age, when you have all the things in your life, whether it is academic or personal or whatever it is. And salute to her parents as well.
Belaji, they're already, Aneka Koti Jalma, they have, evolved. It's not
Yeah, it is the inner push.
Yeah, the way I mean, the joy on her face was so remarkable, and I was shaken by that even after 50s, I mean, that vairagya is not there in, I mean, I was really moved by her dispassion and the way she was dancing. And because music, I think here it is written, no, later on it may not be allowed. So just a day before the diksha, she was celebrating, I mean, she was dancing with joy and singing loudly. And on the road, I mean, it was a huge they call it, I don't know what, there is a typical word in Jain. So in Palaki, the palanquin, she was sitting, and then it was very, very beautiful. I mean, both the Vaibhava and the sannyasi. The very next day, her long hair were gone, and she was turned back into a complete yogin. It was so nice. I was crying throughout the. It was very beautiful. So it just reminded me.
Thank you for sharing this, because I was also picturing, as you said, as you were
Even
speaking.
me too, I was also picturing. So the thing is, she's giving up all this unreal work, and she's, going to, with Kitapa. Krishna is wedded to Krishna now. So that is the joyous occasion for her.
And kudos to her parents also, because most parents are not inclined in that direction. And neither are the children. So this is all past life impressions that are very, very strong. The twofold Nishta is meant only for Shreyas. Arjuna wanted Krishna to tell him which one was better, and Krishna replied that one can be a sannyasi or a karma yogi. Both are meant for the same end, moksha, Shreyas. One can live a life of karma yoga and get moksha, and one can live a life of sannyasa and gain moksha. The only difference is that for a sannyasi, there is only knowledge, whereas for a karma yogi, there is knowledge and karma. This difference must be understood well, because this is where there is a lot of confusion. Arjuna was a karma yogi, not a sannyasi. By listening to Krishna, he was pursuing knowledge. Although grahasthas pursue other activities, they are qualified for knowledge. This pursuit of knowledge plus the performance of karma made Arjuna a karma yogi. If the pursuit of knowledge had not been there, if he had had no discrimination, if moksha had not been the end for him, he would not have been a karma yogi. He would have been a simple doer, a karmi, a karmata. When moksha is in the end in view, then karma becomes yoga, because it is done with a particular attitude in order to gain antakarna shuddhi, purification of the mind. In this way, karma yoga is important in gaining knowledge. You can take sannyasa and gain sarva karma sannyasa, or you can live a life of a karma yogi and gain the same thing. Sarva karma sannyasa is an end in itself, for which the means is either of the two lifestyles, sannyasa or karma yoga. So karma yoga also, with this attitude of dispassion, he becomes the sarva karma sannyasa, revealed by the Lord in the beginning itself in the Upanishads. Among the 10 Upanishads commonly studied, the first one is Ishavasya Upanishad. The first mantra of this Upanishad is meant for the sannyasi, the jnana yogi. It says, in the moving world, everything should be looked upon by you as Parameshwara, the Lord. Ishavasya midam sarvam, the Lord being everything. What is there that is yours or not yours? Live a life of renunciation and pursue self-knowledge alone. This mantra advises pursuit of this knowledge, giving up every other pursuit, is the life of sannyasa or jnana yoga, said Shankara in his commentary. The second mantra of the same Upanishad says, even if you want to live 100 years, live doing karma with the proper attitude. This is the best way for you. If karma is done with the proper attitude, it will not affect you at all. This karma yoga, thus we see here the twofold nishta being unfolded. Sannyasa, wherein the pursuit of knowledge alone is allowed, and karma yoga, the pursuit of knowledge along with whatever karma is to be done. Throughout Shastra, the two nishtas are always discussed in the same way. It's very clear, no? Or do you want to add anything? Nishavasya midam sarvam. Seeing everything as Parameshwara, not being anything. This is, as a concept, it's easy to understand, but in reality, when we express our life, it's not there on the top of my mind, at least.
Yeah, very true, Sumaji. In real, it is very nice and in knowledge, but when it comes to practical application, but it has come, no, with this Manana ji's blessings. It has come.
Yeah. It is slowly coming, but it is not there all 24/7.
Yeah, Shraddha hai par that it will come 100%.
Shanay, Shanay.
Slowly, no hurry.
Yes, no hurry.
Do you want to stop here? It is, I don't know, 9:30, I think, in India time.
Yeah, Sumaji, we can have tomorrow, no problem.
Yeah, and I also have a request for the weekend that we should stop at 9:30 IST, because if we go beyond that, at least I'm not able to attend. I have to go back to my cooking and things like that, because it's already noon for me. So I need to cook. So then I kind of drop off after 12. So is it okay if we do 1 hour Manana every day, or at least in the weekend?
Yeah, it would be
Beyond this,
nice.
Yes.
More imbibing actually.
yeah. Because after that, somehow I'm not able to stay for the next 30 minutes. So then I miss out. So I just thought I would share this, that we'll keep
Yes,
1 hour
yes.
Nanaji and 1 hour Manana.
That
Yeah,
is
that would be nice.
So any thoughts so far? We can do this choice of lifestyle. Seems interesting. We can do this from tomorrow.
Listening to the recording, it doesn't give that same impact for me, at least. Jai Gurudev.
Yeah, for everybody, I think this live Manana session is really so nice. Really, thanks to everybody present here. Really great it is.
So shall we wind up for today?
Yes, Sumaji dear. Thank you.
yes.
Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. Dhanyavad everyone.
Thank you.
Dhanyavad,
Gurudev.